ever thought why you could not top the exam? Or you studied a lot, but compared to the marks that you got, you were not happy because of it? Or you did not get good marks for the same, as much of efforts that you have put in? The reason may be you're reading it, probably, but you don't know the hacks to remember it. So let me tell you the five most important memory hacks for your exams that is going to resolve all the issues that you have. What are those memory hacks? Now, so that I can remember everything and stuff in my mind, what are those hacks? So, one of the foremost hacks that I would want to recommend you people is to repeat the thing within the next 10 seconds. So, once you repeat anything within the next 10 seconds, you tend to remember it a lot. So, what happens is when we repeat it, it imprints on our brain. And while it imprints on our brain, we remember it faster and we remember it for longer duration. You convert it to your own language you are most comfortable with. Now, this hack, nobody's going to tell you, but you need to realize it. Once you convert anything in a language that you're most comfortable with, you're going to remember it for longer duration and most probably forever. So suppose you're convenient, you've read a passage in English, but you're convenient in Hindi. So while you're reading it, try to convert it simultaneously into a language you're most comfortable with. Maybe Hindi, maybe Gujarati, maybe Marathi, anything of that, or maybe Punjabi. Whatever you are convenient with, try to convert it into the same language. Choose and think that while you have read everything, you close your book, close your eyes, and try to recall. This practice, most of us already know, but we don't really do that. Now, there's something called spaced repetition. Now, what is spaced repetition? So, suppose you've read something in the morning before your breakfast, then you read it again in the evening, maybe after your tea, and then you read it again in the night, probably after your dinner. So, this is one such practice which is scientifically proven to help you to memorize better. But what happens most of the time with us? So, the other day, a student of us called me and told me that, there's not much time left for the exam. I'm studying for 16 hours a day, which is quite a much. But still, I cannot recollect anything that I've read. And why so? Because you have realized that you have read it somewhere, but what have you actually read in it? You don't remember that. What happens is you remember, okay, this answer was written in the page 46 of the book, but I can't remember it. I can't remember the points. I cannot recollect it at all. And that is where this repetition thing will help you a lot. Now, one thing with this repetition thing that I would want to tell you is by way of an example. Suppose there is a word, exiguous, and you try to relate and remember it. Now, how do you relate it? Maybe you relate it with exit or maybe exigent. Exit, it doesn't match. Exigent means something which requires action right now, the very moment. It requires immediate attention. No, probably not. Exiguous means none of them. So you cannot relate it. And what it means excessively scanty. When something means excessively scanty, but looking at the word, it will give you a feel that exiguous means something filled with abundance, which is not so. That is why you need to repeat it in your mind because you cannot relate it to any of the things which has been there. So you repeat it again. Okay, exiguous means excessively scanty. Exiguous means excessively scanty. And whoops, you remember it. Now everything is clear. You'll not forget it. Now let's come to the second most important memory hack. Seeing this, most of the students are like, this cup of coffee is not meant for me. I am not this person exactly. You tell me to study the whole night, I am there. But if you ask me to get up in the morning, not me. I'm not meant for it. I'm a night owl. I have been doing it since years now, and I'm in a practice of studying at night. Waking up in the morning is not something which is I was meant for. Because we think that habits don't change, we don't change our habits. But before I come to the 4 a.m. memory, let me just tell you what happens when we study at the night. Oh, it has an adverse effect on your memory and your EQ. So things like a day before the exam, you feel like, oh, I don't want to study. Okay, let me put up the alarm for 1 hour and then I'll start studying. A day before the exam, you're like, I'm feeling very unsorted. Maybe I am having anxiety within me. So these are the things which happens when you study at the night, and I'll tell you the reason why it happens. Because you only remember the first 1 hour and the last 1 hour of what you read in the night. This is scientifically proven by research that you remember only the primary part that you've read and the recent part, which is the last 1 hour of what you read. You were awake in the night. The rest of all is messy in your mind. You don't remember it at all. And that is why studying at night won't give you the results which you want, which while you study in the morning. You feel you were awake all night and now it's time for you to rest. So what you do is it satisfies your ego, and what you do is you don't really try to repeat the things that you read in the night. You feel, okay, I've done a lot of work and now my time of enjoyment begins. So the daytime, entire daytime, you take rest and you do not repeat anything. It makes you feel that there is no distraction on the onset because there's no one knocking at your door, there's no one disturbing, there's no noise from outside, everything is quiet. You're studying in your complete quietude. But what happened exactly is opposite of it. While we are studying in the night, our mind is distracted, and it is distracted to such a level that we don't even realize it. How many of you have felt the same feeling that while you're studying in the night, you want to take a break, and what do? You call up your friend, or you start messaging with your friend, or even not that. Then you start browsing things after the other, and after the other, and it keeps on happening in a continuous cycle. So this is all what we when we study in the night. Another big thing that happens is you are going against the nature. Anything that we do against the nature is not going to be fruitful for a very long time. So you actually disturbing your body cycle, your sleep cycle, and trying to think that, oh, I've studied a lot, which is not so. Another thing, you don't want to come out of your comfort zone. You feel, okay, I've studied a lot, and now I don't want to get out of my comfort zone, so I'll study in the night. Morning is not my cup of tea. Versus the 4 a.m. memory, which I would want to tell you is efforts are more concentrated. You remember everything that you have read in the morning. You don't do task switching. You don't call up your friend. You don't browse. You just read the first 2 hours of your morning from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. You're monomaniacally focused on one single thing, and that is to complete it. Also, when we get up in the morning, we tend to plan the entire day. So when we plan it, it goes really well. Your mind is present there completely, and you're present there 100%. Your conscious is at altogether a different level from the rest of the world. During the first 2 hours in the morning, you feel really whatever you've studied, it imprints in your mind. Another thing that I would want to add is you sit upright. So whenever you're trying to remember anything, your spine should be straight. Don't forget that. Years of research have suggested that the early you wake up, the higher level is your IQ and your SQ. Now, Many of the students will say, "Oh, I don't need the EQ and the SQ." Believe me, in 21st century, the most important aspect of your life is emotional quotient and the spiritual quotient, because these are the things which balances you as a perfect human being. Now, the third most important memory hack is visualization. And what is that? What is visualization all about? You try to see everything that you're reading. If possible, try to use your eyes, try to move your eyes while you're reading. That makes you remember it faster. Try to visualize everything with the same speed you're reading it. So the way that you're reading it, visualize. Then you read it, then visualize. And practice this. It is not a one day effort that you'll do it and you can do it forever. You need to practice it. Start making mental pictures in your brain. Try to draw those pictures, add more color to it, add more, see it in HD quality probably, and those pictures should be having certain motions. So, suppose there was a passage that you're reading, so someone got out of his red car, his keys fell down on the floor, but he did not realize it. Now he met someone on the car park area and he was talking to him. And then the other person whose color was brown asked him, "Oh, look, your keys have fallen down." So you're seeing everything while I'm saying it. That is the power of visualization. Now let's come to an example how to visualize. So whatever I'm reading it right here, you need to visualize it. Harry is working on his laptop. Anish is talking to his wife on phone. Ashley is walking with his laptop, attending a phone call of his boss. Nidhi is sitting in a cafe and working. Ali is working on his laptop and walking. Akya is checking her mail on her phone and is carrying a file in her hand. Blake is standing with his laptop. Eve is sitting on a stool and working on her laptop. And finally, Winnie is on a video call with her child, and Suraj is sitting on a stool with his laptop. I don't know how many of you have visualized it, but had I shown you this picture, you would have remembered it faster. So Harry is working on a laptop, Anish is taking his call from his wife, Winnie is video calling her child, Suraj is on a stool, Blake is just carrying his laptop and standing, Eve is sitting on a stool and working, Ashley is taking the call of her boss and walking with his laptop, Nidhi is sitting in a cafe, Ali is just working on his laptop and walking, and Akya is checking her mails and carrying a file in her hand. Now you remember it much better than the earlier slide that I showed you. Most of the time, we see things, we read things, but we don't remember it. And the reason is you don't remember what you read because you took it as intellectual entertainment. It was pleasure for you. You never thought of making a note of it. You never thought, okay, why this is going to be useful to me? How can I use this what I'm reading? Or how will I be able to use it in future? You never thought these and you just read for intellectual entertainment. So next time you read a book, don't read it for intellectual entertainment. Try to make some concept notes about it. Now, the first most important memory hack is to ask questions. Unless you ask yourself the questions, you cannot remember it. Believe me, it works like magic. And why those questions are important? Whenever you read a passage, especially, you need to question yourself as to what is important in the passage. And when we ask those questions, we try to get involved in it creatively. And when we are involved in something creatively, we remember it. As simple as that. And what happens is we start thinking and it reflects in our mind. So anything that we think about, it reflects in our mind. So this is something very important. In the next vision that I'm trying to show you, there would be a passage and I want you to read it. If you're unable to read it, try to take this video a pause for a minute, read the entire passage, and try to ask yourself the questions. I won't read the entire passage for you. It is for you to read. Stop the video, pause the video for a minute, and read the entire passage and make your own questions. Once your questions are done, just try and see whether it matches with mine. So I'm moving to the next questions part of it. What questions can I ask myself after reading this passage? What is the main intention of the author here? What are the 4 steps pattern, which is the backbone of every habit? According to the author, state of mind plays an important role in which step. Which step is responsible for your ability to do things? What is the final step and why do we chase it? So these are the questions that I have made after reading the passage, and I hope it matches with yours. And I give the credit of the passage to a very good book, and I think most of you might have read it or maybe would be reading it. It is the book by James Clear, which is Atomic Habits. Now, the 5th most important part of the memory is try to remember it with any kind of pain or pleasure that you have had, any kind of good things that have ever happened to you, or any kind of bad things which has stayed back in your memory or was etched in your memory. So somebody might have scolded you while you were a child, somebody demeaned you, somebody laughed at you, somebody mocked at you, and maybe somebody just insulted you enough. And that is when, the very moment you decided that I'll prove everyone wrong. That is pain. Or a pleasure. Okay, this is how I'm envisioning my future. I'm envisioning a chair in which I'm sitting. I'm working very comfortably. I'm planning a vacation to travel all around the world. So you're relating it either to a pain or to a pleasure that you want to seek in future. Try to relate things this way. And how will you do that? Make your acronyms to it. Give them the acronyms. And many of you who don't know what acronyms are, just a simple example of what I feel life is all about. So with L, I mean live with gratitude. Always be very much give respect to others. Feel that whatever you have received in your life, feel the gratitude for the same. I, for me, it means inspiring others. F means to feel alive. And then E means to continuously evolve, to continuously change myself, to continuously go for moving ahead in life, to strive harder for the best things, to keep on learning through the entire process of your life. And believe me, all these 5 hacks are interconnected. All of them are interconnected. So you can relate your pleasure to a visualization where you are sitting and you can relate it and start studying at 4 a.m. in the morning, and all of those hacks which I've told you to repeat within the 10 seconds, to visualize, to get up early in the morning and do your task, everything is interconnected. So try to do that, try to remember it. And these were the most important 5 memory hacks that I thought that every student, every child giving any exam should know about it, because that is what going to change your future, your career, and everything else. And the one last piece of advice that I have for you is don't get caught up in the fact that you have limitations. Don't ever get caught up in the fact कि मेरी कुछ सीमाएं हैं. No one has any limitations. So start putting in the efforts required. Don't think that I cannot remember much. You need to practice that. You need to inculcate that habit of remembering. And here those tricks would help you a lot. So any of you who have practiced and seen the video, please do write in the comment box that how it has helped you and which one of the following tricks has been the most useful for you in the times to come. That's all from my side. Take care, stay happy.